right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, everybody, welcome on in. NorCal Sports Network. Opening day, the most exciting day in sports. Giants take on the Reds in just over an hour. We're going to break it down. And before we do, let us thank our sponsor, Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, located in Marin, licensed in all of California. Give Chapman Law Group a call for your legal needs, especially if you've got a personal injury situation. That is their specialty. So give Chapman Law Group a call. You can reach them at 415-613-9483. Let them know they'll be waiting for you. All right, everybody, it's opening day. No better time, Lou. Got our jerseys. You got your road.
I'm not even sure what they're wearing with all these new setups, especially after seeing your great new jerseys last night. I had to bring out sort of an in-between one. This is a Mad Bum. So, yeah, but I'm excited, and I sort of like what the MLB did. They have all the games basically starting a little bit later, instead of us playing at 1 o'clock Eastern. They have all these games all scattered. Really, take advantage before NCAA's games tonight. So it's a good move. Thank you, Mark.
So, and happy birthday to Lou Marston.
Yep.
39 today.
Yeah, I'm not going to get the new City Connect. I would never wear it, but thank you. No, just give me a nice Arizona upset of Duke, and let's have the Giants play well. That's a good enough present for me.
There we go.
I'm not asking
all right,
much.
Guys. I think it's – look, I'm rooting for the Giants. I got them winning over the 79.5. Got them going 86 and 76. Here's our from last night, guys. 326, 25. 86 and 76. Lou's got him 85, 77. But I think it's going to be a tough. Whoops. Hold on here. I got something going on. There we go. I think it's going to be a tough day today for the Giants. When I looked at the lineups today, guys, let me show you what I'm talking about. This
and going against a guy who owns us. He owns us.
Yes, and that's going to be tough. So if things don't go so well today, do not get discouraged. Do not let your hearts be troubled. But let's just take a look at this. Let me see if I can pull it up. If it gives it to me here. Wait a minute. That's the clicked on it and gave me the wrong game. I don't want the Orioles and Blue Jays. I want. Here we go. Let's see if it's pulling up. Yes. Here we go, guys. We're going to take a look at this, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. Okay. Here we go. You guys see this? Giants lineup. There it is.
Yep.
Is it up on the screen?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Right, now look at this. Career versus Hunter Green. Okay. Wade, 0 for 6, 3 Ks. Willie Adames, 3 for 14, 6 Ks, but does have 2 homers. Jung-Hoo Lee hasn't faced him. Chapman, 1 for 7, 4 Ks. Ramos, 0 for 3, 2 Ks. Bailey, 0 for 5, 4 Ks. Flores, 0 for 2. Yaz, 0 for 2. Fitzgerald, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. So let's add that up. 6, 14, 20, 7 and 3, 10, 30, plus 5, 35, and 6, 41 at bats. Hits, 4. 4 for 41. That is under 100 in my calculations. Yeah, it's a 9.7. They're hitting 9.098 against Hunter Green with 9-4, 13-6, 19, 21 strikeouts.
So
That's
we're due.
50% K rate, everybody. Okay. So don't expect much from the Giants today, is what I'm saying. If they are the new Giants, maybe something happens. But look, NorCal Sports Network, we're not the Homer Network. We break it down. Look, I mean, you're not going to get this news on any other Giant station, not even KMBR. They don't look this deep into the game. All right? We do. Okay? So let me show you the lineups for the Reds. How about? How are they against Webb? Friedel, 1 for 10. McLean, 1 for 3. I have McLean on my fantasy. 3 for 10, De La Cruz. Lux, 5 for 23. Candelario, 1 for 12. Steer, 3 for 6. Encarnacion Strand, 3 for 5. Fraley, 0 for 7. Trevino, 0 for 2. Not a lot better, but a little. Some guys have had some success. Steer, Encarnacion, De La Cruz, a little bit. Okay, so that is, let's add theirs up. Okay, 10 and 10, 20, plus 3, 26, plus 23, 49, 12, that's 61, another 11, that's 72, plus another 9, 81 at bats. 81 at bats for Cincinnati, a lot more faced Webb. 81 at bats, hits 2 and 3, 5, 5, 10, another 4, 14, 3, 17. 17 for 81. That is 210. 210. So twice as much as the Giants. Home runs, they've hit a total of 1. That's it. Okay. So it should be a pretty tight game. I would think today's game, depending on how it gets to the bullpen, it's opening day. So probably neither guy goes more than 6. But I'm expecting a pretty low scoring game. The weather's like cold. It's like 55 degrees. So, it's not like typical Cincinnati in the summer where the ball's flying out of there. So I'm expecting how about the game gets to I would say the game gets to about the 7th inning, and it's probably like a 1-0 Cincinnati.
Sounds right. Yeah, sounds right.
And I think the game probably gets to the pen, and I'm going to say Cincinnati holds. Hate to predict this, but Cincinnati maybe pulls it out like a 2-1, something like that. I could see the Giants winning 2. I could see the Giants, once they get rid of Green, I could see the Giants winning, a 2-1 game. Okay? We'll see. It could be complete.
Good call. Good call.
Watch it go 7-6, both pitchers. But I don't think so. I think if you look at history, you look at opening day, you look at the weather, this all looks like a quick game too. Yeah, a very quick game. So I'm waiting to hear from my producer. Where's my producer? Okay, there he is. Okay. There he is. There's our producer. Okay. Let's I'm thinking of doing an in-game live today, guys, around 3:00, just to see what's going on. We'll could be fun. Could be fun. But NorCal Sports Talk Live says, I predict Webb's road struggles will be on display today. Yeah, I mean, all signs point to me, a Reds victory today. Opening day Terry Francona. Yeah. I mean,
Dan, I don't think we really talk about that enough. We praised the Giants when they had Bochy. Now you have a
Right.
World Series champion going to a young team. He knows what it takes. That's why I think the Reds this year could be a little bit different, a little different, where I think they're probably good for at least 6-7 more wins, just more competition for us to make the playoffs.
Yep.
For Kona. So
happy opening day to you too, Shell. Welcome in.
Shell.
Welcome in.
With that beautiful smile, making us excited. Thank you for joining us.
Marcus says, guys, Matos is going to rot on the bench with the analytics BS. Reds have one left-handed pitcher in starting rotation. Yeah, that's Saturday with Nick Lodelo. Looks like he'll be going Saturday. And, I got some different things and takes on this. I think the Giants are not going to go full analytics this year. Let me tell you why. I look at the roster. They did not go with Brett Wisely. They went with Koss. What's Koss's first name? He's so new. I don't even know his name.
I'm not even sure. I mean, I only heard about him like 2 weeks ago, where it was like, my God, the guy's on fire.
Hold on, let me look up at his name. Someone will probably put it in the chat before I even get to it. But
thank you, chat.
Christian, thank you, Christian Koss. So
thank you, Ryan.
Christian Koss. I was just looking that up, and so you've got Christian Koss on this roster, not Brett Wisely. That tells me they're not looking at the analytics. In fact, Buster even said in a that they went with the more athletic guys. Koss has more speed. Koss can play some corner outfield. If you look at his history, he's not a ton, but he's played about 100 games combined in the minors with some corner outfield. You got Wade that can play some outfield. So they went with the extra infielder rather than the extra outfielder. They didn't go with McRae. They probably figured McRae needs to get everyday at bats to develop more. No sense sitting a young guy like that and letting him rot on the bench. Casey Schmidt's on the ball club for, he can hit. He's defensively a standout. And here's the thing I'm expecting, guys. I really think the Giants could do something. Think of it this way. I would not be surprised to see Casey Schmidt get about 20 starts at third base this year. And let me tell you why. Matt Chapman is 32. They want to have him rested and strong through the whole season. How about giving Casey 20 games or so at third, and you don't lose anything defensively, and Chapman can DH those games. And he gets some time off of his legs, and he can just DH. And if they're facing a guy that he hasn't had success like today, 1 for 7 with a lot of Ks, maybe he just sits all together. There are going to be some tough righties that Chapman has not had a lot of success against. And if you're looking at a combination of gut and analytics, I think that makes a ton of sense. I could see the same thing with Koss getting some starts at shortstop to give Adonis a day off in the field. Let him DH. That's one of the beauties of a roster that's flexible and is good defensively. The problem with the Giants in the past is they didn't have any backup shortstops. Heck, they didn't even have a shortstop last year after they got rid of Nick Ahmed. So, yes, Robert, Chapman is used to playing every day. He's also getting older, and he wants to probably play every day in the field. But I'm saying that he's still playing. He's in the lineup as a DH. When you do that, you give guys a day off every now and then after they're playing. Heck, they got a 17-game stretch coming up without any days off.
Yep.
There's a time where you just say, hey, take the day off in the field and give your legs a rest. And you just go up. You're going to be the DH today, or you're just going to sit on the bench. It's a long season, guys. And Casey Schmidt is a Gold Glove caliber third baseman. I believe he's going to get some starts at third base. I believe there's a possibility of Tyler Fitzgerald after the first 10 games of the season, after they've played 3 in Cincy and 3 in Houston and 3 against Seattle at home. If Tyler Fitzgerald is struggling at the plate and he's hitting, around 100 and he's got a 40% or more strikeout rate, I think you might see Casey get slipped in there at second base. I'm not hoping for that for Fitzgerald. I'm just telling you, there's a little pressure on Fitzgerald to perform. And that's good.
Dan, I think you're bringing up great points. Plus, if you remember last year, the biggest rag of the chat was injuries, and everyone gets injured. I think this year we are deeper, so we have guys that can fill the holes. I think you bring a great point when we lost Amid, and of course he went to the Dodgers and then hit off us a homer. Thanks for coming. I think the key thing too is it's a lot different when you're a bench player and now you're starting. The pressure is so much more, especially if you start off tough. Fitzgerald could be 0-15, and then now he's trying to change his batting stance. It's good you have somebody. The other thing too is we assume Adames and Chapman are going to work together. You don't know. If you remember the Giants, we've had it where strange injuries happen because they don't know each other, where they might bump into each other. And the other great thing I think is, especially they're going to play today, but then there's possible rain delays. It's okay to use other people. And I like it when the good managers do it early in the season to give everybody, keep it going, especially when you bring up a great point, 17 straight games. There's no reason why he needs to play all 17. Adames, I think last year played 161 and he says, hey, I'm here every day. It's not what he thinks. It's what's best for the team. And, I think that's what's most important.
Yeah. And like I say, with the DH now, you don't have a Shohei Ohtani or Yordan Alvarez, who's your DH that you're not going to sit, It's not like you have a Marcell Ozuna. You don't have a everyday DH. I mean, Wilmer Flores is getting the start at DH today because it's a nod to the veteran, okay? I think if Encarnacion was not injured, he would be the DH, but Flores is going to get the nod. It's opening day. You give it to the veteran out of respect, okay? And don't be surprised if Casey even gets a start in this series. I mean, Casey's actually got 2 hits, is 2 for 4 off of Hunter Green. But he's not going to get the start today, even though, they're going to go with Fitzgerald. They're not going analytics. They're going more gut. And, I think Bob Melvin is, whatever your feelings are about Bob Melvin, look, his hands were tied last year, okay? Farhan said, he's making the lineup. Sure, he was making the lineup with suggestions. And look, he's your boss. Your boss suggests something to you, you're going to do it most of the time because, think about this. Farhan in the middle of the season could have fired him. Hey, he's not doing what I asked him to do, and they're losing. Melvin went with the operations of, look, I'm going to keep my job. This year, I think he had a huge input on the roster. And I think it's kind of more like Steve Kerr and Mike Dunleavy now, where there's a lot more collaboration, working together, and that Melvin has the final say on the lineup, his gut, and we'll see.
And you got to remember, Dan, he's only got a 1-year contract, so he's going to do whatever it takes to win. so he can actually get additional years. He's under pressure too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Aaron, how long before that we say Giants are using too much gut, not enough analytics? Yeah, wouldn't that be something? So yeah, it's a really it's just a situation where I think the Giants just have to play their game. Look, guys, today's one of those 50 wins, 50 losses. Okay. If they lose, don't worry about it. They're going to lose. Every team except maybe the Dodgers is going to lose at least 50 games. Guaranteed.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And then what's going to happen in the other 62? So we know they're going to be, the Giants are going to win at least 50. They're going to lose at least 50. Do the other 62, do they win 40 of those? Do they win 35? Where are they going to be? They're going to win 31 and finish 500. That's the key. So, I'm not breaking it down like every game matters, but I'm just saying you're going to lose 50. You're going to win 50 guaranteed. So unless you're the White Sox or the Dodgers, right? I don't know of any team that had not won 50 games in recent memory, except the White Sox only won. What they win last year? 41 or something like that. I think they were 41.
47, I think.
I think they were 40 and 121 or something.
And the A's a couple years ago had 51 wins. They were like 51 and 111 or something. Was it like something 2 or 3 years ago?
I can't remember.
These years.
But the White Sox, I think they only won 41 games.
Yeah. Dan, I have a question.
Yeah.
What do you think the biggest key to the Giants having success for the first month of the season? Is it starting pitching? Is it runs in scoring position, getting key hits, staying healthy, the bullpen? There's so many different aspects. But, we don't really talk among each other. But what do you think the biggest thing for the Giants to get, a good start? Remember, I've said it a few times.
Can I take a cop out and say all of the above?
All the above. Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I personally think, especially where we're starting on the road, I think starting pitching right now is my biggest question mark. We all know about Webb. It'd be nice when Webb pitches, the Giants actually win. As we remember last year, the Giants had a losing record when Webb started, which is sort of tough when, he's your best pitcher. But I think, when we have Ray and I think Ray, if he can, come back, will be good. I think we have a lot more positive than negatives. And I hope most importantly is Hicks. I think he's a big question mark where we need him to just be a starting pitcher, give us a solid 5, sometimes 6, and just do your job. Yes. You got a starting position as a starting pitcher, do your job. You don't need to throw 800 miles an hour in the first 2 innings and run out of gas. So that's sort of my point. I just thought I'd ask you.
Yes. Let me put up this comment by Robert Rothberg, and then I can read Robert a little story. Okay, I'm going to read you a story, Robert. Here it is. There once was a shepherd boy who was bored as he sat on the hillside watching the village sheep. To amuse himself, he took great breath and he sang out, "Wolf, wolf!" The wolf is chasing the sheep. The villagers came running up the hill to help the boy drive the wolf away. But when they arrived at the top of the hill, they found no wolf. The boy laughed at the sight of their angry faces. "Don't cry, wolf, shepherd boy," said the villagers. When there's no wolf, they went grumbling back down the hill. Later, the boy sang out again, "Wolf, wolf!" The wolf is chasing the sheep. To his naughty delight, he watched the villagers run up the hill to help him drive the wolf away. When the villagers saw no wolf, they sternly said, "Save your frightened song for when there's really something wrong. Don't cry wolf when there's no wolf." But the boy just grinned and watched them go grumbling down the hill once more. Later, he saw a real wolf prowling about his flock. Alarmed, he leaped to his feet and sang out as loudly as he could, "Wolf! Wolf!" But the villagers thought he was trying to fool them again, and so they didn't come. At sunset, everyone wondered why Robert hadn't returned to the village with their sheep. They went up to the hill to find Robert. They found him weeping. There really was a wolf here. The flock is scattered. I cried out, wolf! Why didn't you come? An old man tried to comfort Robert as they walked back to the village. We'll help you look for the lost sheep in the morning, he said, putting his arm around Robert. Nobody believes a liar, even when he's telling the truth. Okay, Robert! Robert, I love your enthusiasm, but you can't say the Giants are destined to win it all. Well, you can, but you've been saying this since this show started.
3 years.
And before the show started. Robert, you have been wrong in 22 and 23 and 24. Oh, please don't put me to sleep. I have to watch the Giants game. I have to skip my nap. Oh, Robert, you're the best, man. You're the best. I love you, Robert. And obviously, we're just having a little fun, a little entertainment, but you don't want to be the boy who cried wolf. So this is great, Robert, man. You're true. Don says, I bet Robert sleeps in his Giants uniform, a true fan. And Robert says, truth is, I do have Giants pajamas. Yes. Yes. Shell says we're going 81 and 81. That's the over. Hey, guys, you can bet the over, 79.5. I think it's a good chance they do go over. I would take the over. I feel good about this team having a winning record this year. I really do. I think they're at least 82 and 80. I've got them going 86 and 76. But we'll see. We'll see. So you guys like the story of the boy who cried wolf? Robert, I think you should put some money down. Hey, Robert, I got to show you something. I did put some money down on the Gigantes. Let me pull this up here and show you guys my bets, my future bets. Robert, you'll be happy with this. Let me find my future bets. Okay. There it is, guys. Can you see that's the Rams bet. There it is. Giants World Series winner, $5 to win 500. See it? There it is. Robert, are you happy with that World Series winner? Plus 1,000, $5 to win 1,000. So, you can't say I didn't take the bet.
Yeah, FanDuel. Yeah, I'll tell Dan thanks for the donation. No problem. Okay, yeah, thanks. FanDuel says thank you for the $5.
Well, hey, look.
Chat. But you made Robert happy. That's what's most important. Robert, let's go. We appreciate it. By the way, Robert, you're allowed to say whatever you want on this show because it's opening day. We all want what's best. But I want you to keep up the same attitude if we start off rough, like I know you do.
Yeah.
But nothing wrong with that.
Here's a parlay today.
Okay, so it's the Reds, Marlins, and Tigers?
Yeah.
Is that who?
I took look at the plus money on the Marlins and the Tigers. They're facing Marlins are facing Schemes.
So you're getting a 3-team parlay plus $9.
Yeah. $10 to win 91.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Hey, look. We got a couple of crazy ones in here too. Let me see. Where are they?
I should have shown you my crazy one. You want to know what mine is today? Reds run line, Arizona run line, Dodgers run line, Seattle run line, 20 for $965.
Well, you're taking the run lines, huh?
Oh, because one's 1 plus 165, 185. You know, because the Dodgers, you know, it's one of those things. It's $20. No biggie.
Actually, Don, they're not tied for first place. Don't forget the Dodgers are 2-0.
Yep.
So the Giants are technically a game behind the Dodgers right now. Oh, we got the sirens are going. No mute button there. There we go. They drove. Oh, you hit the. Now you might be muted now. Let's see. Robert predicts Giants go 7-0 on a 6-game road trip. Robert says no, 8-0. Oh, yes. Did we get any votes for the City Connects? I saw some really cool City Connects that you want to see some City Connects that would actually
I love what Chicago did. I love what the White Sox did. Southside, you know, you could have had the marina. You could have had the city by the bay. You could have had something nice. Instead, they got that crap.
Look at this. Look at this. If you did this one, I'll show you a Giants City Connect that would actually be like really, really cool if somebody took some graphic arts and ran with it. Let me see if I can find it here. 1 second. I just gotta pull it up here. Where did it go? Oh, come on. Oh, hold on. I made it. I think I'm looking here on Twitter to see if I can find it. Opening. Yeah. Now, if these jerseys, if the Giants actually took the version color scheme and put this into a jersey, I would buy one. And I'm going to venture to guess that Lou would buy this.
The blue block one I thought that people thought might have been in. Let's see what you got.
What do you think of that? What do you think of that?
See, now that's actually, I like it because it says the city. That's a little bit different.
Yes, that, and look at the buildings and the Golden Gate Bridge and the colors. You got a little bit of that bluish at the bottom of the sleeves.
No, that's all right. I would love to see that in white. I don't know about.
And look at the socks.
Oh yeah,
isn't that
perfect?
Come on, people, is that the uniform? Not to the Giants to do the City Connects. That is nice. That is nice.
Yeah.
And whatever somebody said no rainbow, but that fits the city too, right?
Of course.
So come on. Lose the blue in the jersey, and that is fire, Shell says. I kind of think the blue kind of gives it a little bit of flair. What do you think, Lou?
I like the city. I mean, I think, because, the other thing too is how about like San Fran with a line from it? Because a lot of people from the city hate when you call it San Fran. But I do like the city, and then maybe
I love the city.
On the back.
Hey, man, the Warriors or the city for years.
Yeah. And I do like where it says
the blue could represent sunrise, like right at dawn. Come on, let's do these uniforms. Come on. The other ones are appealing to the kids. The ones that they came out with are appealing to the 25 and under crowd. I mean, the 8 and 9-year-olds
spend money. That don't spend money.
True.
Yep.
Maybe they get it for a gift from mom and dad, but
at half
this
price.
is something I could wear with pride. I love the pants and I just love the whole look to it. It's got the orange, it's got the city, it's got the the bridge. It's got the built. Look at how's that look? Look at that.
Yeah, it's sharp. I like that because when you come off the Bay Bridge, that's what you see.
Yeah, I mean that is the Golden Gate, though.
Yeah,
but come on, look at the buildings behind it. It's got it.
Yeah, no, I like that. I also like what NorCal Sports Talk Live, a Seals tribute would have been nice. San Francisco Seals, old school.
Oh yeah.
That's a good
He
call.
says get rid of the blue. Shell says get rid of the blue. If you got rid of the blue, what color could you just get rid of the blue altogether? Doesn't the blue give it a little
Yeah, blue and the orange aren't a bad combo. I'm just trying to think.
It gives it a little bit more of a flair. I think it brings in the young crowd having the blue with old. I don't know who designed this, but I think they did a great job.
Yeah. Why does it have to be black? At home, don't we usually wear like cream or white? I'd love to see that too, but this is obviously.
I don't know if you can get that. I don't know if you can get that view. You can't get, you can't get things to pop. You can't get things to pop.
The 3D, 4D look.
Yeah. There you go, guys. A starter jacket. Yeah. I bet you Shell has one of those old Niners starter jackets. I had one, the gold.
I have an old Giant one. It was all orange in front, had the hood, and then I had two. One went all the way down to my ankles, and the other one went above my knees. Yeah. You needed them at the stick. It was great.
Yeah. This color scheme actually fits. It makes sense for the Giants. Yeah. I think we're going to see a lot today. If the Giants somehow come out and hit Hunter Green, guys, if they hit Hunter Green today and they score runs off of him, I will tell you this is going to be a very good year. And I'll tell you why. They have no success off of him. We ran the numbers. They were, what was the numbers? 6 for 41 or something? No, 4 for 41.
41, yeah.
4 hits, 41 at bats, 21 Ks.
Yeah.
If they hit and they cut down on the strikeouts, that means the Giants have taken a new approach, that their hitting in the spring training was not a fluke, that they are taking a different approach at the plate, and they're just trying to put the, bat on the ball, not trying to crush it for home runs. They're playing a different way. If that happens today, I will tell you the Giants have a shot, a real shot. Like I say 86 wins, they could win closer to 90. If they get to Hunter Green, because everything points to them having a hard time scoring. What do you guys think of that?
Great point.
That's true. He can be wild and walk, guys. If that happens, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. If they get runners on base and they move runners along and they have some timely hits, look, it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good series. So, I'm really excited about this team because I think it's going to be at least an entertaining team to watch. It's not going to be really boring. Yeah, it's not going to be the boring ass team that it's been the last few seasons. Yeah. It's got some speed.
Won't be torture. Entertaining.
Yeah. They're going to be in a lot of games. I don't think, out of 162, I think they maybe get blown out. What, a dozen times?
And that happens with everybody. It happens with everybody.
Yeah. And I think they probably are in games under 2 runs or less in 100 and I would say 130. 100, maybe 120, maybe about 120. They're 2 runs or less, the games. probably closer to 120. Yeah. 2 runs or less. I think they're going to be in a lot of close games this year. We'll see what happens. Maybe 120 is high. I'd have to look at scores. I mean, generally, you're going to lose some games by 3-4 runs or more, right? Quite a few. You're going to lose a dozen where you get beat by 5 or more.
Yeah, but Dan, you're bringing up a great point. If you remember last year, it seemed like the Giants, it would be 3-2, maybe 2-0 in the 6th. I forgot what the Warriors call it when it's 5 or less in the last 5 minutes.
Clutch game.
That's how the Giants were last year, and I think, 120 is definitely, I mean, look at Webb. The whole entire chat thought Webb was the greatest because he gave up 3 runs and the Giants just never scored. I was a little sick and tired of hearing the Matt Cain comparison, but
yeah,
that's how the Giants were last year. The Giants were tough, where they literally, I know we don't really talk about torture anymore, but you got to remember, they won 6 games, 6 different ways. A sacrifice fly, a balk, a steal. It wasn't like the normal team where, it's a 2-run shot to win it in the 9th. That's what makes the Giants unique. So
exactly. Well, what time's the game day? Is it 1:10 or 1:05? Let me see.
I think 1:10. So I know, like, once I'm done with you, I got a sandwich, I got nachos, I got avocado all set up.
There we go.
Is there a thing you do for a pregame meal before first pitch? Do you ever do anything unique? Is there a favorite when you're at home?
I love a hot dog on opening day, but I'm probably going to do a barbecue hamburger.
I like it.
I'm going to do a barbecue
hamburger
burger today.
Barbecue burger. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah. There you go. Let me check the game. 1:10.
Yeah.
1:10.
Yeah, 1:10, and it looks like the weather has not hit. It's all East Coast. There's 3 rain delays right now. So remember, the Giants play today. They're off tomorrow. Then they play Saturday, Sunday. But the times, I mean, there could be a lot of rain delays. So
yeah, we've got Twins, Cardinals in a rain delay right now, and Orioles, Blue Jays, top of the first. In the top of the third, Yankees at home are leading the Milwaukee Brewers 2-0. That's actually something, you want to see American League teams beat National League teams if you're a Giants fan, because obviously the Giants, if they're fighting for a wild card, that helps the Giants. So Dan,
the other great thing about the first 2 weeks of baseball is I have Comcast. I don't know what other people have, YouTube TV, but MLB has all the games for the first 2 weeks. So you can actually see the Giants or the Reds, the home announcers for every single game. So that's what's fun the first 2 weeks. At least my cable gives it. So every single game is on TV. No excuses.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, we're going to end it right here. First pitch is in about 24 minutes. So
Dan, we got a live update.
It's
now 2-1. Milwaukee just hit a homer. It's 2-1. On NorCal, we give you live updates. 2-1.
Ouch.
Milwaukee just hit a bomb.
Hold on. Is Rodon pitching for the Yankees?
Yes, he is, if I remember right.
Come on. I want a shutout. I got him on one of my fantasy teams.
No. Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
All right. Well, let's go Yankees. So Austin Wells hit a leadoff homer today. So game time, we're 25 minutes away, almost. We're just in seconds right now.
Thanks, Brad.
12:44. 12:44.
Brad's at 3:43 in the Philippines listening to us. Thanks, Brad.
12:45. Where's that?
Brad Rideout. Is that his last name? Am I saying it right? At 12:44. Brad Rideout. FLG Giants hum baby. It's 3:43 a.m. in the Philippines.
Wait a minute. Where is he?
The third one up.
Third one. Why am I? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Hey, all right, Brad. I have many people in the Philippines, family in the Philippines.
Pretty soon they're going to have billboards up there.
It is now 3:45 in the Philippines. My wife just got back from visiting her family yesterday, last Wednesday. So she was over there for 12 days, got back last Wednesday, and she's just back on her clock, American clock, as of about last night. Finally got normal night's sleep. I'll be back over in the Philippines in June. So that's going to be cool. Go every year. But yes, it is an exciting day today as we're now 24 minutes away.
Yeah. I think it's bigger than the NFL's opener on the Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
It's because it's during
absolutely.
the week. People have tradition.
Absolutely.
To tell you the truth, this day is almost like March Madness, on the first two rounds. I mean, they're pretty way up there. Everyone talks about it. Everyone, has their jersey on. Everyone's got hope. Nothing wrong with that.
Look at that. We're 24 minutes away from the first pitch, and there's number 24, the Say Hey Kid. He was at the first game, Seals Stadium. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Brad, do you have a Filipino wife? Why don't you send me an email? Love to find out if you are over there, what it's like living over there full time. I'm considering it myself for retirement, and I would love to hear from somebody else. So, Brad, email me and tell me about what it's like. Maybe we can connect. Here's my email address for NorCal Sports Network. Pretty simple, at Gmail. Just NorCal Sports Network at Gmail. I'd love to hear from you, Brad. What life is like full time. I've talked to a couple of expats over there, and they love it. I'd love to know where you're staying. Live like a king. Yeah. I mean, I've been thinking about, I could go over there on my Social Security. Lou, pretty much $1,000 in American dollars is like worth $5,600 in the Philippines.
The exchange rate or just the way people live? I like it.
The exchange rate. Yeah, it's like 56 right now. So
wow.
If I want to send 5,600 pesos, let me see.
5,600 pesos, it would only cost you 1,000 because the equivalent was 6.
No, hold on. I got it right here. Hold on. Let me send wave.
What is the dollar? What dollar do they use there in the Philippines?
The peso. It's
the peso. Okay. And Dan, do you speak Tagalog?
No. My wife does. My wife does, obviously, fluently. $100 is 5,616. 57.4 right now, but I pay a little bit of a surcharge on it. But $100, 5,600. So obviously, if you had a 2,000 Social Security check, well, let's say.
So when I renegotiate my contract at NorCal Sports Network, I'll have to bump up my salary too, so I can live better in the Philippines.
Yeah, there we go. Right. Exactly. Yeah, 7,000 island. Which island are you on, Brad? Are you on? Are you over in Cebu or are you over in Luzon? Whereabouts are you? Rutschman just homered for the Orioles.
Dan, while he wrote you, did you see what I sent you today to get you fired up for the Giants?
What'd you say?
The Twib notes.
Oh yeah, Twib notes.
This week in baseball when the Giants clinched.
Yeah.
In '89.
Wow. Well,
always gets me excited hearing that.
Oh, near Cebu. Okay. Cool. I've been to Cebu. I love Cebu. Yeah. That is awesome. That's where a lot of people live over there.
Yeah.
So
Dan, we're gonna probably do a live feed like in the start of the 8th inning or like at 3:30.
Somewhere around 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Somewhere around 3 o'clock. I'm thinking I got to pick up my wife from work just before 3, so I don't know. It varies. Sometimes she gets off at 2:30, sometimes it's 3:15. I'll have to watch the game. Fortunately, with the MLB app, I can just take it on my phone. So
yeah, if you have T-Mobile, it's free down for the whole season.
T-Mobile, that's right. If you got T-Mobile, it's free. I got it free last year. T-Mobile's awesome. Hey, guys, let's get out of here. First pitch,
let's go. Let's see if we can start off.
About 19 minutes from now. Go Giants. Come back here. Be watching. We may go live on NorCal Sports Network around 3 o'clock. Do a little in-game. I'll do a little broadcast, and we'll watch the game. Or we may not. I don't know.
Yeah.
We may
and
go
Lowe's have
afterwards.
fun. Lowe's have fun at the party. Tell everyone we said hello.
Yep. All right, guys. Here we go. Go Giants. Let's have some fun. Opening day. We'll see you shortly.
The Wilson A2000, huh?
How about if we turn up the music, huh?
Go.
Turn it up. Let's have a little
Get fired
loud
up.
sound as we celebrate here. Come on, let's go.